behind the trades, kind of the logic that we're applying. Everyone's saying, what's up, Angelo? Hey, Angelo.
What's up?
Right. Cool stuff. All right, so I guess I'm going to get right into it. I got some pairs prepared for you guys for this week. Before we start, just keep in mind, Christmas is this week. It's a big holiday week. A lot of the volume is probably going to be down, but there is still some news going on that may affect this week's, formation and volume overall. But again, it's near the end of December, so the market should be dying down just a little bit. All right, so let's get right into it. Let's see. You guys can see my chart here. Let me just move some stuff around. Move this around. Where's chat? All right, cool. All right, so here we are. Starting off with DXY. There we go. That's better. All right, we're starting off on DXY here. So we're going to bump up time frames just to get an overall general view of what we normally do, right, on a fresh chart. So here's a monthly, very bullish, right? Big bullish momentum all the way back since, July 14th. More recently, since February 18th, been in this pretty steady bullish trend, coming back up to this top part of the range here around 100, which is also where our monthly resistance is. So let's drop down time frames to the daily and see what this means in more recent terms, right? In the weeks ahead. So this was news oriented here, this break out of support, but it came back into this range. And now we're finding support off this level once again. So, it's very likely that, price is at least gonna come to the 97.8 region, and then potentially even higher back up to the 98.40 area to fill the rest of this range before we can really decide if it's gonna go all the way back up to 100 or continue to, play in this range. But the overall sentiment for USD, the DXY index, US dollar index, is bullish for the next few days, right? So we're gonna see it come back up to this range somewhat. So that's DXY. I always like to keep this pair on hand because, I use it as an indicator. It's direct US dollar strength. I could, pretty much get a good idea of every US dollar pair just based on this alone. But again, I use it as an indicator. I won't solely place trades based on, USD. So it's like USD is going up, like let's go sell AU, right? No, it's not going to work that way. It's just going to give you an overall sentiment and give you an idea of where this dollar is headed. So let's move on to AUD. So again, higher time frames, we're going to bump up. Let me just continue here. All right, so very bearish. Again, this has been bearish for a while now. This is the monthly time frame, very steep. It's attempting to form structure where current price action is. We're going to see if it holds. So this whole move is basically a retracement on the time frame, right? This whole bullish trend here, back from we had conviction around October 19th. Had some bullish momentum from the point. But we are finding that this is a key resistance level. It's a 618. Again, key resistance, broken support over here. Now testing once, not twice as resistance. So we're looking for confirmations here. I personally think it's got a lot of bearish. Kind of just waiting.
Right.
Kind of just waiting in this area. So we're looking for. I think exactly.
And it don't take all day.
So I think we're just going to get a little projection around this area. We're going to look for something similar like this, a big wick, maybe a bearish engulfing, and then we're going to target down towards the bottom of this trend line, or more towards the 0, 100%, the 100% of the 88.6 level, around 68.20, and then from here we're going to look for a break and retest of this higher low, and then continue to play lower if it breaks out of this channel. So let me throw a range on this. Let's say we got that perfect reversal. It's a double top on the daily. We got an engulfing. We're looking at 80 pips to the trend line, at least. So 80 plus pips. So this is going to be a potentially good move. But let's think of the opposite. What's going to happen if this breaks out, right? We want to see a significant break to the upside into this range. And then we just want to play it off support if we get those confirmations. So bullish engulfings, those morning stars, huge exhaustion. We want to see that if we're going to, feel confident taking a long to the top of this range here. So again, we're just waiting for those confirmations. This is a very sensitive area. So, we're kind of waiting and playing it out. See what comes of it. All right, so let's keep moving. We're on to AJ now. Again, we do this every time, every pair, higher time frame, check out the trend. And again, with all AUD pairs, they're pretty much bearish. They've been bearish for quite a while. This goes all the way back to January 15th, and then the more recent conviction was from February 2018. So after we see a big extension like this, we want to see a retracement form. We're looking for structure, so then we can then continue trading the trend, right? So here we are on the daily. Again, this is a little bit like AU. We've had a bullish trend on the daily since October 2018 or 2019, and it's just been forming higher highs, higher lows, and now we're at a high. Now we're at a fib level at 50%. It's not the most significant, but this is a very interesting trade this week because what we could see here is a double top form, and then again we're just going to look for that confirmation target towards this trend line and this 38.2 area. So from this gray zone, it's about 100 pips. So this will be a good trade if we're looking to sell after we see confirmation. And then what happens when we get to this area? We look for a break and retest, and then we target lower, and so on and so on. But if we do see that AJ pushes up, we want to see that this is then turned into the levels. Again, we want to do those bullish confirmations. Somebody's mic is on. Yeah, no, Johnny. If we're gonna, I'll take care of it in a second. So again, we want to see that significant closure, retest, then play it to the top of this range, and next significant fib level, which is the 618, right? We also see that there's huge confluence in this area. We have a monthly resistance level, 618, and then this just overall structure zone from a higher time frame is acting as very, very strong resistance. So, again, this is from here to here is about 100 pips, and then from the gray zone down to the trend line is also about 100 pips. So there's a lot to be made on this pair, but again, confirmation, kind of just waiting. There is a bit of consolidation, so we'll see how this week plays out with the low volume. So let's keep moving. We're going to move on to some euro pairs. This one is looking particularly interesting for this week. This is Euro CHF. Again, higher time frame. Let's check it out. See what the market's telling us. This is also very bearish on higher time frames. So you can see here that this was support that was broken. This is clearly news related, but still came back and it almost tested the exact same level as resistance. So, again, this is the lower high, even though that this is such a huge push from news. This is still a lower high, and we're actually breaking out of this. This was the trend line supporting this bullish trend here, and now we broke lower, and it showed to be reversing in this area around the 38.2 after it rejected. And we actually have a monthly evening star here. So this is, looking very bearish. And we're looking to get down to the negative 618, the negative 27, which is, you can see there's a little bit of support here. This is a higher low, so that would be our next target, followed by the monthly support in 618. So let's go down to the daily and see what's happening in more recent price action. Okay, so we have a bit of a triangle here, which has kind of just been squeezing price, but, we're getting higher lows, we're also getting lower highs. And then this was news related, this giant push up to the trend line, but then was quickly reversed as the trend is just, continuing its trend. Lower high, huge exhaustion, it breaks out of this pattern. So now, ideally, I would love to see this area, 50% tested. So you can see these fib level, these moving averages are going to be tested, 50% fib level, as well as this key resistance level here, right? This is blue line. So this is a lot of confluence in this area. Love to see it push up, get another lower high, as well as some huge bearish setups like this engulfing here or another long wick, a lot of exhaustion, or even an evening star, and then we'll just target lower. So let's see how far this range is from our two targets. Let's say we get what we want, what we're looking for. So it's about 80 pips to the negative 27, and then down to the monthly and negative 61. We're looking at 110 plus pips. So there's definitely a lot to be made on this pair. This one's looking the cleanest as far as structure formation and what we like to see in a chart. So just keep an eye on this. This trade should execute fine if the volume keeps up. But again, we'll see. Let's move on to EU. I'm gonna do up to GU. So that's 7. All right, cool. So here we are on EU again. Our time frame very bearish. Just look at all these lower highs. You have 1, 2, 3, 4 lower highs, and a huge break of support turn resistance, as was confirmed over here. And you can see this monthly and this whole zone. It confirmed it and it's pushing lower. And now we're just in a bit of a, a descending channel here. So we're going to drop time frames, see what this means. So this is that descending channel. Here, I'll show you on the monthly. This is that descending channel right here. We're zooming in on that, right? So here's the daily. This is that entire channel that was highlighted. So here is major support, was support over here. It broke, and now it's testing as resistance. So we have the first test, second test, which is actually a double top, and now here's the third test. We have a lot of exhaustion. It's a big confluence area. We have the 200 EMA, top of the trend line, this major resistance. So we're getting these confirmations, and it's looking like it's a bit of a transition, right? So we're getting a lot of lower highs. We're breaking these higher lows. It's coming down. Broke this key support level, and now it actually found a little bit of support at this 4-hour zone here, right? So again, we're just looking for a retest. I would love to see this come back up and test this resistance level while also hitting the MAs and 61.8 pib level. And then we're looking for continuation. We're going to target back down to this 4-hour support level. It's about 30 pips, and then even lower to this lower support level, 4-hour support, which is about 100 pips, right? So I just want to show you guys how many times price action is tested here. So every time it breaks below this area, this 4-hour support, it'll come down and then it'll kind of play in this range a little bit. So this is a key level. We're just looking for rejection here, get below here, and then we can safely target the lower end of this little range here, right? So this is looking very clean, especially when you're on the higher time frames. It just looks like there's so much room for this to dump. Just looks like once these levels are broken, once we get a couple more lower highs, some serious confirmation, this thing is going to drop, and it's looking pretty good. Again, this is Euro USD on the daily. My Telegram is going absolutely nuts.
It's not posting in Discord.
What?
It's not posting in Discord.
Oh, okay. I guess that's just Discord then. So okay, so this one's looking really good. EU guys, Euro pairs are looking great for this week. I'm excited. Hopefully the damn volume keeps up, but I mean, worst case, we'll just pick it up next month or at the very latest, early January. So let's move on to EJ. This one's not looking as clean as EU, but it's similar. It's looking similar. So again, we got plenty of lower highs and higher time frames. Definitely safe to say it's bearish. Similar channel, right, as EU. So let's go ahead and drop down. We're going straight to the daily. This one has a little bit more support compared to EU, but so here's a little bit of a bullish trend. A little bit of a bullish trend on a daily in an overall weekly bearish channel, right? So what we're just we want to look for, trend continuations. So again, this is still a lower high in comparison to these highs, right? Lower high, lower high, lower high. We just want to see these confirmations. Now, yes, it could play in this region. We could see it reverse here. This is just drawn to show you, we're waiting for those confirmations. We need this level to break here, this support, to start getting these lower highs, start getting these bearish confirmations. That's going to tell us, listen, this trend is still going to push down. It's still going to continue the overall trend. So we're just waiting. This is looking really great right now. This is like a star off this trend line, off the 88.6. But we want to see more confirmation. We want to see a break below here. Potentially a retest would be beautiful. Then we're just going to target down to this lower support level here. Now this pattern is still intact. This is about 120 pips, 130 pips. This pattern is still intact until we get below this support level and this trend line. So let's play it forward a few days, few weeks. Let's say we get down to this level, the projection is correct, the analysis is doing its job. We want to see a break and retest of this support level, and then we want to enter on a lower high in this area, right? We want to see those huge bearish, significant bearish setups, and then we can just begin to target towards some of our higher time frame support levels around 117, and then even lower towards our 0% around 116. And let me tell you guys, this is a long way away. A lot of pips, 400 pips, but I'm just showing you the potential of the overall trend. That's what we do. We like keeping the overall trend in mind. We're trend traders. To me, this is still very bearish, and this is merely a daily retracement, right? So we're just looking to capitalize at the absolute best spot and make the most pips. So this is EJ on a daily, and I got one more for you guys. GU. I started. It's all alphabetical. Everything's alphabetical.
Let's go.
It's fun. You got to keep it clean. Organization is so key, guys, in trading. So, oh wow, this is looking interesting. So here we are on GU. Guys, this is very bearish, very bearish. All the way back since June 14th, lower high. And we found a little bit of support down here. It's a bit of a double bottom around 12,100 for GU on the monthly. Now, I am temporarily long on this. This is the daily time frame. Because I don't know if if it's done enough, because this has been very bullish since September 18. A lot of news, positive news has been coming out for GU. We did get this news spike last week, and we have this whole mess here. But we had this higher high form, and now it's coming back for a retracement. So, I'm short-term long on this because I've seen this play out many times on GU. I've seen it make a huge push. It comes back, hits the 38.2, and then goes back for a second touch. It's just a pattern that I've seen form on GU quite a bit. So, I'm just going to stick with a bullish outlook on this daily time frame at least. But there's no argument that on higher time frames it's very bearish, right? Yeah, you should be going long. You think so too? Good to know. Good to know. So, okay, so here's that major support level. This was broken structure. This blue line, this red zone is just the highlighted potential reversal area between the 38.2 and this structure zone. So again, I'm waiting for confirmations at this point. It does have a lot of bullish volume, but also, it could easily pop out. So what I want to see here to confirm this trade is I want to see a higher low form, and I want to see a higher low form based on the confirmations that it gets above these MAs, that it shows me strong bullish setups. I want to see those engulfings. I want to see the morning stars. I just want to see that there's a lot more bulls in play at this region than there are bears, right? So I just want to see this get back up here to this region, break above this minor resistance, and I'm just going to target back to the top of this range here, this where this high is established, this weekly resistance. I just don't think it's done yet, but we'll see. So let me just give you guys a range on this. Huge amount of pips, like ridiculous amount, 500 plus pips. That's a lot of volume for it to push all the way. Like, look at this push. It pushed from here to here, 650 pips. Not very long at all, a couple weeks. So, there is an immense amount of bullish volume, and we're just trying to capitalize on it. So, waiting for those setups. And again, this is GU on a daily, guys. So, are you all set up?
Yeah.
Ready? All right, cool. So I'm going to pass it off to Angelo. That was 7 pairs, just to refresh. It was DXY, AU, AJ, Euro CHF, EU, EJ, and GU.
Yeah, so just to go over again, we have 15 pairs of analysis out right now, and we are doing an update. We're doing an update where we're now adding short videos to each of the analysis, so you guys can get a look in on the way that we're thinking through. Like, we're obviously writing down each time frame what we're seeing, but just adding that next layer. And then with this weekly analysis, we do want to go over everything in the chat, but also if there's any pairs in particular that you want done, just post in the chat right now, and we'll prioritize those pairs first. So we have a lot of analysis right now. I'm going to start.
Dude, I love how these are live videos.
As you're on screen, yeah.
So you scroll past them. All right, so yeah, let's pass this off to Angelo.
So you got,
Here you are. Let's see what you got.
this. Which screen do you see?
Discord right now.
Discord? That's notes.
Oh, no. Hey, you're good. You're good.
Hold on. Let's see. We got DSD. So we'll go with this. All right, so let's start with, let's go back to the major pairs, and let's start with USAF, so USD CHF. Let's start up on the monthly. Take a look at what's really going on here. So we've been stuck within this consolidation range for the past several months right now. We really haven't broken below this 0.98450 level. So right now we're just considering this to be tested. Let's go down to the weekly, check what's going on. Down to the weekly, we got a little bit of a break below the support level. That's the most previous main level that we're looking at. But again, we're still testing this area. We haven't confirmed a break below. And we have a doji, formation of a doji, and we got some seller's exhaustion in there. So let's keep that in mind. Bump down to the daily. The daily, we've had a huge bullish engulfing. So this actually has transitioned potentially to retest this right here, 0.98400. So right now in the lower time frames, we're seeing a minor break of structure. We're seeing some momentum. Ultimately, down to the 4 hour though, we can see some lower lows, lower high, lower low, lower high. Really, the most previous lower high that we're looking for it to break before actually maintaining that overall weekly bullish trend is this point right here. So right now, we're just going to maintain buy orders potentially into this area. I'm going to just wait though and see how it really plays out around these two random areas. So we got this first area right here, and then ultimately this 4 hour. We'll see how we can reject. And based on where price is right now, I won't sell until we really break below, back below this level, 0.97970. And I'm just using the moving averages as a marker there. I could go down 2 lower time frames and check out structure and see what we would have to break really to continue to short without reaching these levels. So that is USD CHF. Let's hop over to USD JPY. So let's start up again, always on the monthly, see what's going on. Even if, we do it every week, the same analysis, but we start on the monthly time frame, we're going to go down. So right here, the monthly, we got some lower lows, lower high, lower low. Here we're looking to form a lower high. You got that? What? Participants. Yeah. I got it. Yeah, if you're in the chat, just mute your mic because it's mad annoying. You're just making a random noise. All right, so we got this lower high forming right here. Let's just head down to the weekly though and see. We're in a crazy little pocket right now on the weekly. We've got some resistance and we've got formation of potentially lower high right here. So the 200-day moving average, the trend line. So we can see how the price reacts right now. You got that? Or
I can't mute him. It's only you.
Oh, you can't.
Yeah. Just share host. I don't even know if you can. It's the last one.
All right. Yeah. So let's go to the daily and see what's good. So the daily, we've got some higher highs and higher lows. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. So until we really break below this higher low on the daily, we're maintaining this bullish trend right now. But let's take a look at the 4 hour and see what's going on, because overall we are at a weekly level of like bearish confluence. So we're keeping that in mind the whole time. So on the 4 hour, we're pretty bullish right now. So really what I'm looking for here is if we break below this higher low that is formed, we'll look to potentially sell down into that support level. Or if we manage to maintain above the moving averages here and we're breaking this area, we could potentially look for sells, but I'm going to wait. I mean, to look for buys. I'm going to wait until we got the chat. Yeah, for sure. Let's see this. Jesus.
Yeah, I wish I could mute people. But
I think you can.
No, I can't.
Oh, you can't?
No. This is the last one.
Damn. All right. Let's see. So USD JPY, we're waiting right now. We're not exactly looking to buy right now. We're going to see how price closes above this level up here. And again, let's go up to the daily and see, we're retesting this high. So if we get some sort of confirmed break above here, then we'll go for the buy. So let's go to NZD, USD. This one is in a crazy spot. So on the weekly, we've made some lower lows, lower high, lower low, and then we're coming to a weekly level of resistance right now, and we're getting some buyer's exhaustion, a doji, and we're pretty overextended. So let's take a look, because we're not going to just exactly sell based off that. So let's go down to the daily. Daily is maintaining very bullish right now, above the moving averages. But at the same time, we know how strong this area is up here. Potentially we could continue to retest this again off some like 4 hour confirmations with the trend. We're forming on the 4 hour, we have a break of resistance right here, and now we're potentially forming this next little higher low situation. But really to go along with that overall confluence in this area, if we do get a break of this 4 hour, we're definitely going to look to short into this next level and beyond there. But for now, we're just going to monitor and we're going to look into this range, see how price reacts. Yes.
What's up?
All right, so let's go on to USD CAD. So USD CAD, we're on the monthly time frame right now. So monthly, we are breaking below. We're getting a little bearish. Here. We're looking to potentially retest this lower line, but again, we're just in some consolidation right now. We're just consolidating. So let's go to the weekly. The weekly, I can pretty clearly see that we have formed this lower high right in this area right here. You know, respect it 3 times. But at the same time, again, we got this weekly level support right here. So based on how last week formed, we've got this candle forming with a lot of resistance. So the market doesn't look primed to really drop at this point, but I am bearish on this. And let's go down to the daily and see why. So the daily, we're below these moving averages. We've got quite a bit of exhaustion here. So we're really rejecting that level. And then down to the 4 hour, we can start to see some more clear structure. Is we got lower low, lower high, and then we're forming a new lower low, lower high, and then right here we're retesting this lower high right now. We had an evening star finished last week at this area. We're not taking entries just based off of that, but this does confirm that this is our next lower high area. A little bit of a break or transition on lower time frame here. So let's just see. I'm looking for price to come back, potentially reject this area before we short again, or if we do get a break of that level, that daily level, and you start to look for different opportunities on the weekly, potentially looking to come back in to this high right here. So those are 2 potential opportunities that we got with USD CAD. Let's hop on to some minor pairs. I believe we covered all of the major pairs now. So let's go to NZD CAD. Let's go up to the monthly. So on the monthly, I'm clearly seeing price more sellers than buyers right now. So we're nearing this monthly level of resistance. We're below the moving averages. Let's get down to the weekly. We got this little trend line situation. So we got some confluence around this area. At the same time, though, we're not just taking sells without looking for some sort of lower time frame break of structure. So right now, we're still above the moving averages. We actually had a nice bullish engulfing to maintain that, but we're just rejecting this level. We got resistance here, or exhaustion, you know, all over the place. So let's go to the 4 hour. Let's map out what potentially we would want to see before we really do look for shorts. And on the 4 hour, we got this higher low. We got this higher low here, and then we retested that and respected it. So ultimately, I'm looking to break this higher low to send us to the short opportunities to the weekly level. And then if we do manage to break above, you know, what are some buying opportunities? If we manage to see a break of this trend line and really we see a breakout up here, then we could see some volume from this pair up into this area first, 0.87900, and then ultimately to retest. I'm just looking at these highs over here that price could potentially come to. So let's go to GBP JPY. So let's go start on the monthly. Monthly, we got some crazy exhaustion on this. And this is just a follow-up to the analysis posted last week. Last week, again, we were just mapping out, similar to a lot of these pairs that we're seeing with these higher time frame confluence areas right now that are yet to really show us a lot of indication that they're going to sell off. GBP JPY last week, before the week, was formed this candle up here. And so we had this bullish candle, we rejected this weekly level, and then last week formed this bearish engulfing. So in this area, we have the 200-day moving average, the trend line, the monthly resistance. So there was a ton of confluence there, similar to a lot of these other pairs that we're looking at this week. And then we can look here, you know, we can see that price right now is breaking below the moving averages on the daily. Then again, nothing here indicates really to sell off, but what I will do based on this is just say, okay, the moving averages are broken, we're below the monthly level, below a trend line. Let's start to identify structure a little bit more clearly on this 4 hour. We got some higher lows and higher highs, higher low. We had this huge spike up, but again, this pulled back rather quickly considering the area that we're at. So really right now, we broke this level of support right here and we rejected it. and we could see some sort of opportunities potentially to the downside or to retest this level right now. So GBPJPY, a lot of sellers are in the market right now, especially the end of last week, and we're just going to see how price really reacts to this 200-day moving average right here, and to see if we can get into some short opportunities on this. Let's go to AUD CHF. This was a pair last week that I looked at, and we saw a potential head and shoulders pattern. We haven't completed that, but at the same time, let's take a look at really where we are on this monthly time frame. We're still below these moving averages, very bearish, but we're retesting a monthly level right now. So we got that in mind, that we're at this monthly level. Down to the weekly, I'd be seeing some structure. So I see this low, this lower high right here, but not quite really lower high. It hasn't broken through the moving averages at all. It's just maintaining this overall bearish trend right now. And then as we can see right now, we've broken above the moving averages. We had this bearish engulfing, seller's exhaustion right there. So we are just consolidating in this range right now. We're forming higher lows, lower high right here. Really just using this monthly level of resistance as my key level to judge where price really is, and we're below there at the time. So right now, I'm just going to look onto this 4-hour, and nothing in the immediate for the first half of the week is going to convince me too much on what to do on this pair, but I'm going to watch as it comes into this area, and if it forms some sort of higher low situation here and breaks below, then potentially we can look for shorts on this. So this pair is a little bit up in the air. And then the last one that we're going to go over, and then we'll look at one of these pairs that Samuel wants to look at.
Look at the Swiss Jappy.
So let's look at GBP NZD. GBP NZD got some higher highs, higher lows on the monthly. Right now, we're rejecting the shit out of this monthly level. So let's go to the weekly. Last week, huge bearish engulfing candle right through the moving averages. So this thing has found a lot of sellers at this level up here. Let's go down to the daily. Daily, we broke higher low here, new low, new lower high. Right here, we're forming a new low. So what am I going to do? Right now, I'm going to look for short opportunities underneath this moving average on the lower time frames. But overall, I do anticipate some sort of retest in this area if I want to catch the higher time frame lower high that does form, and we'll take advantage there. But at the same time, think about where we are right now, and we are below the moving averages all the way on the 30-minute or on the 4-hour. So 30-minute, we're forming those lower highs and lower lows. So that we're not going to get too far into, because that's what we're going to post in the premium analysis for the members this week, is how to take advantage of some of these lower time frame opportunities that are there. So do you want to do CHF JPY?
Oh yeah. Take a look at it. You want me to do it?
Cool. Yeah.
I'll tear it up.
So we're gonna have Nick share. We're gonna have him do CHF JPY. And yeah, I mean we've done a ton of pairs. Like I said though, we're just doing top-down approach, and we're looking where the opportunities can be early in the week and later in the week, and we're considering both. So let's get CHF JPY on the chart, and let's break that down to end this off.
Yep. So I'm just going to set this up for you guys. Give me 1 second here. I just want to add this to my list here so I can analyze it and I'm going to put out a video analysis on this later too, just because.
Yeah, I've been seeing
why not?
I've been seeing a lot of people trading CHF JPY in the group chat. It's bad.
I've never analyzed this pair before, personally. It is hot, all right? So we're just going to do a straight pull-through analysis. Ooh, this looks like it's got good structure. I like this. All right, so first thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to do a full breakdown. That's fine, right?
Yeah.
First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to identify major key levels of resistance. So 104 seems to be the biggest one that jumps out to me, because we see a little bit of support, a little bit of resistance. Just going to do this kind of quickly. Normally I'll spend 5-10 minutes on a chart looking at these key levels.
Let's talk to like why you put those levels there.
All right. So right now, first thing I'm doing is identifying my monthly levels, right? So I placed my first one here because, look, this is a key level support. I saw price action touched here once. There's a wick in here too. It tested twice. But this is the third one that really makes it significant, is that this level was held by both the sellers and then the buyers versus resistance, then as support. So this is a really key level that, you can clearly see there's a lot of, reaction volume coming off of. Secondary, this level here, is I see something similar. There's a touch here, there's a touch here, there's a touch here, there's a gap here, gap here. So this is also a level of significance, right? That price action has bounced both from resistance and support multiple times. So let's just check this range, see if it makes sense. 1500, pretty big, but this pair moves a lot, as we can see. So I'm going to go ahead and find the halfway point, right? And I'm going to call it 11.7. And this is how I'm going to mark the weekly. I'm going to find the halfway point, which will then have, the same thing, resistance and support levels within here. And you can see that price action on both sides rejected, both bearish and bullish side. So what we want to do from here is we found this range, right? 1500. I'm going to mark one more. So that's 1550. I'm going to then mark down here. So once we get the first range, I'll then just mark out the rest of these support levels based on that range. So this is 11.6. Then let's fill this in. And this is all that I'm going to do. You don't need too many lines. You don't need to go crazy. I'm just staying in this area because it's the closest to where recent price action is, right? So let's see what this level is. This is 92.3 or 96.3 as a weekly. And now what we do to make sure, quality check, right? We go back to the candles. Just see how these levels have held up. So this level held up well. It wicked even higher. Came back through. This level held a support, right? Held a support here. Resistance, support here, then support, resistance a few times, a bit of a gap. And then it came back down and used this weekly as resistance, right? All right, so this seems good. This seems good to me. I'm going to go ahead and drop down to a weekly just to double check, see if there's any trend lines that need to be placed. This looks like a pretty significant level here, right? This is why this monthly is there. It rejected 3 times, as well as found support over here. So let's go ahead and I'm going to drop down to a daily. It's been consolidating for a little while. All right, here we are on the daily. Let's see where price action is headed. So right now it's testing the weekly again, right? I'm going to find, where is this daily? So I want to find where price action could reverse. I'm going to go to the line chart. And I see an area in here already where we have a little bit of overlaps. We have an area where price action tested both sides of the market multiple times. Let's go to mark this as a daily. So yeah, I'm still placing SR levels, just checking to see where this market has been, where it's potentially going. This level seems good to me. So this is a range here that we have now. This is a huge bullish trend. Let's see where this bullish trend has been. Has it formed structure? Yes, it did. See how it hit the 38.2, right? So this is a structure forming level before it pushed higher. So here's our 38.2. If we're going to just continue with this bullish trend on a daily, we're just going to look for a reversal at a key fib level and see what this means. So here's a key area. We have the 38.2 there, 61.8 right here. This looks like probably the most confluence.
Yeah, and all Nick's doing here is he's building these entry zones that we talk about in the course with our members. The easiest way to make sense of what these are is we're trying to just keep it as simple as possible, and we're trying to hop up through these time frames. He's talking through what he's seeing, but at the same time, this is all this this technical analysis. This is all being done very quickly in his head. He's just going through the chart and he's spotting these levels based on obviously the way that we understand what support and resistance really is. And then we're looking for the most optimal high probability entry opportunity. In the time frame that we're on, we're at a high. The most ideal situation is to enter at a high or low on this daily time frame. Now, it doesn't mean that we potentially ride some sort of lower time frame trend, depending on how much room we have to fall into that area. So right now, he's just marking out some structure points based on, I guess, the weekly time frame. And again, time frame correlation. Understand where you're at and where to use your fibs, right? The fibs can be used on every time frame, but based on overall where we are, then we'll get down to where we see structure the clearest, which is all he's doing right now. And then we'll create those entry zones for those good opportunities to take advantage of.
Well said, Angelo. So yeah, as he said, I marked up this lower high here because this is actually a weekly lower high, right? And now this break signifies that this is a transition. This lower high has been broken, right? So now we have, a daily higher high. So if this trend is going to continue higher, based on what the daily says, based on this transition, this lower high break, so now we have a bullish transition, right? I'm simply looking for a retest of this broken area because if this is a significant transition and this trend is going bullish now, I want to see some confirmation. I want to see that this level is now support. It's done being resistance, that the bulls are now in control, and that price action is not going to fall back into this area, right, below this support. Because this is a very significant level. Because look how many times it's tested. It's tested once as support. Where is it? It tested as resistance over here, support over here, resistance, resistance, resistance over here. And now I want to see support. So simply, I drew a curved line. I want to see it come down and hit a fib level, as well as this daily. There's a lot of confluence in here, right? We have this support level. We have this daily level. We're going to have some fib levels down. We have a fib level. I'm sorry. We're going to have these MAs come down. And then I just want to see those confirmations, so those bullish setups. And then we can target back up to this weekly and potentially even higher. So this looks like a pretty big range. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a markup on this. About 120 pips. So this could be a move that's pretty significant. But I definitely think it's going to fall from this area a little bit. It needs to form structure, and that's simply it. We're going to wait for structure to form, plus those confirmations. So that's my quick analysis. So you can see how big of a resistance level this is here, just based on this.
Yeah, and so this is like in that little menu that we both use to the side. We'll just move this down the list. This is something that we're going to wait to see structure form a little bit more clearly. Obviously, right now, we are looking for some sort of buy opportunity, but we're all the way at a high. So what are things that we're going to do in the lower time frames? We're going to look at that high. We're going to look for patterns that potentially confirm us to say that we should continue this as a bullish trend into our targets, or we're just going to continue to look and see where structure is created. For example, right now, if we get some sort of bullish engulfing in the area we're currently at, and then we get a break below that, that'll be all the transition that we need to start taking advantage of some sort of selling opportunities. So, again, quick analysis, CHF, JPY. As you can see, we can get very in depth with it, though, from a standpoint of how we are thinking through this. And again, these analyses are just on the daily and 4-hour and the monthly, based on the monthly and weekly key levels. So we are aiming to use these to give you guys the opportunity to see the overall trend. And then as we build out opportunities to enter in our signal room that we're taking, we're going to deliver the lower time frame analysis, so the 1 hour and 30 minute, and then you can sort of make sense as to what do these higher time frame candles mean, these bearish engulfings, bullish engulfings, bearish and bullish signals, and how do they come into play on the lower time frame with the transitions going on. So this was the Sunday Market Blitz. We went over, I believe, 16 pairs, including CHF, JPY. This is all recorded, and you'll be able to see it again. But we did the short video breakdown, so you don't have to sit through this whole video. You can go on there, and we do go in depth on each of the pairs, so you can take advantage of that as well. I thank all of you guys for obviously joining and sticking around for the full time. And let's go on and have a really good week. We have a lot of breakdowns. We have all that we need to sit back and wait on some opportunities. And that's all that we're going to do.
Yep. Well said. So yeah, thanks again, guys, for joining in. So yeah, like as he said, this is only the daily and 4-hour analysis. We obviously offer a lot more in depth inside the course and stuff. But yeah, feel free to reach out to either of us if you guys are interested in joining. Or if you just
happy holidays.
Yeah, happy holidays. Enjoy, guys. And
so the sale right now, if any of y'all are interested, the sale is over as of right now. We'll see what happens in the next few days with the holidays and whatnot. But enjoy your week. It's been fun. We'll catch you guys in the next Sunday Market Blitz.
Thank you, guys.
Peace.